Yeah, it's really important, I think, to build confidence going into these next games. Confidence in our team structure and how our team plays together. Rotations, get a feel for it all. So compared to last year, those hard games, I feel like these games prepared us just to give us confidence. Get some wins and really get into the tough schedule.
Yeah, with the whole confidence thing, like Coach says, our bench is really deep. We can get real deep into the bench. So with these games, he could throw a lot of us in there, and he said it's real close. Like the rotations are real close. Like we shouldn't see a difference when they're sub. When you get in there, do the best you can when you get in there. So yeah, just the confidence part on how deep the bench is.
You had 17 assists tonight, and compared to 7 first game. Was that a point of emphasis going into this ball game? Sharing the basketball, making plays for each other. Was that something that Coach stressed to you guys in this ball game?
Yeah, we watched film. We seen the zone. We seen the open spots. First play I got in, we ran the play, swing it to the corner. That was an open spot right there. So, but Coach already said like the bigs and some of the guards gonna have like most of the assists this game because of the way that zone is.
Yeah, and he especially talked about before the game. He put on the board. He said, "Are we going to be the team that was the first half against Colorado College, one assist on 10 points, or are we going to be the second half team? More assists, more points, more buckets. And I think that we did well sharing the ball today, and it felt good."
Marcel, how have you been able to make the adjustment, transfer in here? What are the new faces? The continuity with the team, how has it been over the past 5-6 months that you've been here and then getting on the floor with these guys?
It's been great. Where I came from is not as loose to play, so I'm still getting used to that a little bit. But it's getting a lot better. Just being myself, playing loose. That's the main thing.
Talk about the emphasis on defense. Brock, last season, I know one of the main focus was you guys could score the basketball, but Coach wanted to focus on defense and rebounding. He was plus 12 tonight as well, and you held these guys to a low 37% shooting. Talk about how that's going to be for you guys going forward, if that's going to be a mainstay in you guys being consistently being able to defend and win some ball games.
Yeah, definitely. So, last year is a little disappointing defensively. Like you said, we were really talented, but couldn't really get stops. This year, I think it really boils down to the fact that we got guys that want to compete. On the defensive end, where we're going to try to get those 50-50 balls. We're going to talk, and I feel like the way that we mesh on defense is going well so far. And we especially emphasize, coming out of timeouts when we're on the floor, when we're in the tight huddles, we're like, let's get some stops, because stops turn into offense. So we really want to focus on that.
Brock, your comfortability with Langston in the pick and roll is pretty apparent. You guys obviously prepped together at Colorado. How have you guys grown over the 3 years that you've hooped together?
Oh yeah, definitely. From when we started playing together at Colorado Prep, we had a good chemistry, and even in these games now, it just feels normal to be in those pick and rolls with him. He sees me on the dumps, and a lot of times he'll just blow by the defender and get a layup. So I think that we play really well out of that, together, and just in general on the floor, we talk to each other, communicate who's open, who's not, whatever. So I really like playing with Langston for sure.
Well, I'm talking about that pass. Like, I know you didn't get the finish that you wanted, but where did that come from?
I was sometimes in the backyard with my brother. I'll be throwing him a few behind the back passes. I wish that one would have got it. You got through. I wish he didn't call the block, even though it went our way. But just messing around a little bit, and I just threw it. So I'm not really sure.
Last thing for me, you guys, CSU comes in on Tuesday. Obviously, you played them a couple times. You guys beat them last year. Big rivalry. What kind of statement can you guys make Tuesday night?
I feel like with that being the first Division I game, we win that one. That's really gonna set like where we at where we're at right now as a team.
Yeah, and I think it's important for us to come out and compete. Set, like you said, set a statement. Try to get something that will help us down the road. Give us some run. That will help increase how we play this year.
Yeah, I think you look at the end of the game, the box score, whatever you want to look at. I think there's some good things and bad things like any game. I thought probably 30 to 32 really good minutes. I thought, honestly, our first half, our attention to detail defensively was elite. I was really proud of the guys. The 2 words I wrote on the board at halftime was human nature. And human nature, that's what kind of happens is you can get up. And we didn't get up because we made shots. We had great looks. We couldn't make a shot, and we're still up 39-17 at halftime. And then we stretched it, I think to 28, I think probably fairly early. And the weirdest thing about it is, the one guy had half their points in the second half. The one guy had more points in the second half than their team had in the first half. So was it a huge breakdown of our team? Was it a certain player got hot? Either way, the scout was that he was not supposed to get threes. So not the fact that he made 7, but the fact that he got 13 off, that's a failure. That's something that we got to learn from the film. Thought there's some other good stuff. Obviously, 2 nights ago we were very average from the free throw line. Tonight we were 21 for 21. So you're always looking for ways to grow and just get a little bit better. But, at the end of the day, I thought it was a good test. I thought their size was real. Like, we needed to feel some size like that. I thought we learned a lot. The way that they play with kind of the kind of weird zone, and sometimes it's man. You can't really run your stuff. And so you got to attack that stuff in transition. But once they started scoring, it kind of changed the flow of the game. And so, long story short, thought we did a great job. Thought we had multiple guys that had great individual performances. And we've got a lot of stuff that we got to work on between now and Tuesday.
Coach, one of the things we discussed during the preseason, we talked about was defending and rebounding. It was plus 12 tonight.
Yep.
But also, the first game you only had 7 assists. You had 17 tonight as well. Talk about the emphasis from the first game to this game and making sure you guys make plays for each other.
Yeah, so the first half of the first game is Colorado College. The stats said we had 1 assist on 10 made field goals, 1-to-10 ratio. And I think the stats in the second half said 9 assists on 17 made, so something like, every second shot was assisted. So today, and one of the pregame board emphasis was like, hey, are we 1 for 10 or are we 9 for 17? What team are we? Because that 1 for 10 team, that team's not very good. Like, we're not good enough to just, one-on-one and just take crazy shots. We're just not going to win games. But when we can share it, we'll always have 5 pretty good players in the court. So looking at the stat sheet quickly, 17 assists on 26 made shots, that's a big-time ratio. And to be honest about it, if we would have made a 3 tonight, we probably would have about 25 assists. We just couldn't make a shot. And so I think we did have a really unselfish team. I think we really shared the ball in that. That was a big emphasis that we got to get back to that. So, yeah, that was good. And then the rebounding, too. I was really excited about the offensive rebounding. We really challenged our guys and to look and say, okay, we got 10 offensive rebounds tonight. St. led us with 4 of those, but Marcel got 2 as well. That's a big thing for us.
Playing off of that, not just 10 offensive rebounds, but you turn them into 16 points. You got to love being able to score off the second chance opportunities.
Well, that's, the stats and the analytics and all the, nerd ball stuff that we all study, and sprawl ball and things like that. One of the best shots in basketball is that offensive rebound putback or that dagger 3. Like, that's just, it's in the NBA, in college, it's one of the best shots. So if you can get the second and third shot, you're going to probably make it. And so we try to emphasize that. We typically have, at least 2, but most of the time at least 3 guys crashing the glass, 2 guys getting back. So it's still 5-on-3. You're not going to get a ton of them, but if you can get them, they're like gold. And so, yeah, that's good to know. I didn't know that, but yeah, 10 offensive rebounds and 16 points. That's like from the nerd ball stuff, 1.6 points per shot. That's amazing. And so you got to get some of those.
Talk about the play of St. Thomas as well as Wisely tonight, Coach. St. Thomas went for 20, 12 and 6, and of course Brock 2 nights in a row got his career high tonight as well. We talked about it preseason. You thought he, probably should have won freshman of the year last year. He's really picking up. Talk about those 2 guys in their play thus far.
They were great. And I think the thing about this team, big picture, is that we could have a different guy be the leading scorer every night. You can't just cue in on, now Saint had it, because you know what? Riley might make 6 threes the next game, and that's what's great about our team. But St. Thomas first, that's the type of line he's capable of. That's not an anomaly. Maybe some nights he's at 14, 15, who knows? But, he almost had a triple-double in our Midland exhibition in like 12 minutes. Like, we didn't play him that much because we were playing so many guys. But 20 points on 9 shots, that's a big – it wasn't 20 points on 18 shots. He is efficient. And then, you look at the rebounds, 12 rebounds. And the thing about him is when he gets defensive rebounds, he cues our break, because he's so good getting a rebound, dribble busting out, and finding other guys. And then the 6 assists, same thing. 6 assists, 1 turnover. He just, early on we couldn't score. We went to that zone. We put him at the nail, kind of at the free throw line. He got that catch. That pass to Brock for that layup was unbelievable. He just sees things that a lot of players can't see. And then you get to Brock, I mean, yeah, 19 points, but 8 for 11. And he missed a late that he almost never misses. But Brock is always like that. He just doesn't miss shots. And so we've got to find ways to get him the ball because his efficiency is through the roof. I thought he played really well. I thought he played tough. I thought he did a lot of good things. And so it's just fun to see that stuff. You know, you look at DeJure, had an efficient night for the most part. You look at Marcel McCreary, you know, having 14 points on 9 shots off the bench. So we can have different guys score on different nights for sure.
You got to play offense, Coach, but talk about some of the guys like Connor Creech or Zach Watt. Come off those two combined
Yeah.
for 9 rebounds. You had every guy had at least 1 rebound. 7 of the guys had an assist. Talk about how deep it is, not just on the scoring board.
Yeah, and I think it's a good point. You know, as I start looking at the stat sheet with, you know, Connor and Zach, and Connor right now, you know, he plays so hard, and he's really frustrated because not all those threes number 30 were on him by any means, but he hit a couple threes on Connor that were tough shots, and Connor takes a lot of pride in that. You know, that's kind of his role, being the gritty guy, being the defensive guy, being the rebounding guy. He's not going to ever be a huge scoring guy, and so he's not worried about points or anything like that. So he takes that to heart, you know, when a guy, you know, is able to hit some shots. But yeah, you look at Connor, you look at Zach, you look at Langston, like those guys are really good defensive players. And so that's a big thing, and that's what's cool about this team is that we kind of got a blend of so many, you know, some scoring, some shooting, some posts, some size, and so that's the biggest thing. But yeah, you look at it too, you know, with Zach. I mean, I'm just telling you, Zach's going to have a night here soon where he's going to hit about 5 or 6 threes, you know, but he's also not going to force it. If he doesn't have good shots, he's not going to take it. So I think, again, you know, there were so many positives that while I was disappointed with the second half, and they outscored us in the second half, that's what the stats say. But, again, was it one player got phenomenally hot, hit some crazy shots, which that's part of it. But I do think there's a lot of positives that we can take from this game as we move forward to CSU.
You get ready for that first time in 6, 7, 8 years they've been here. How big is it for the fans to come out? What do you want to tell the fans?
Even longer, because I've been here 8 years and they've never been here in 8 years. So I think it's pushing a decade. And it's so hard to get CSU to come here, and I'm appreciative that they're doing that. You know, it's the last year of this contract with CSU, and they're really good. You know, they got a really good team. They're always good. They're always well coached. But they're going to be really good for our fans. I think it's going to be a game that naturally is going to attract an awesome audience, an awesome experience. But, yeah, we got to pack this place. I mean, you don't get a good Mountain West team in from right across the road coming down here very often. So we've got a great opportunity to go in and compete against a great team and keep this momentum rolling. So, you know, the pitch to the fans is let's pack that bank on Tuesday night. It's as simple as that.